The Laguna Woods Writers Club presents Right On. And now, here's today's host, Judy Saxon.
Hi there, I'm Judy Saxon, and this is the Right On Show, where we put the focus on writers and writing. We've got a great show today. Our first guest is Tom Blake. He's a columnist, a consultant, a speaker, an expert on dating after 50. Tom.
Morning.
When I got my divorce, I was just, first of all, unprepared to go into the dating world, because who gets divorced when they're older? I mean, my generation, we all thought we'd grow old together. Surprise. And so you have really filled a gap with that. You wrote Middle-Aged and Dating Again. This is a number of your columns that you wrote for the Register. I love this. Many a wonderful afternoon at the pool reading that. Finding Love After 50, How to Begin, Where to Go, What to Do. How 50 Couples Found Love After 50, your newest book.
Right.
Now, I know that you say, get off the couch.
To get out and back in the world after a divorce or after a separation, you just can't sit at home and think somebody's going to come and find you. So you have to get off the couch and get out of the house and involved in activities that you enjoy to be with new people.
Yeah, and not always an easy thing to do, because it's easier to sit on the couch.
Right.
And you say it's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game, Judy, because you may meet somebody maybe the first or second date, probably not, but it may take 50 or 60 people that you've had contact with through the internet or in direct meetings before you meet the right person.
Yeah, right. And you say you talk about the importance of being approachable. Now, what would be an example of being approachable when you go out?
Well, the biggest thing, of course, is to have a smile.
Yeah.
And to have a very positive attitude. And if you are that way, people will be willing to approach you, because there's no wall around you that would scare them.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes it's not easy to smile, because it's not always easy to get yourself at these things. And now networking, you talk about the importance of networking. What would be some examples?
Well, networking would be, let's say you're still working, you let your coworkers know that you'd like to meet somebody, not maybe one of them. You let your family members know. You get out and go to places like a Chamber of Commerce meeting or an art club or a bridge club or something like that. But it's important, again, to get out of the house.
And let people know that you are open to meeting somebody.
Correct.
And I love where you say, don't let loneliness make your decisions for you.
Well, I think what happens when we're lonely is sometimes we get a little desperate. We're so lonely, we want to meet somebody, and we lower our guard a bit, and we may accept things and people who really we shouldn't, that don't come up to our standards. So you can't let loneliness cloud your decisions.
And I think this is what everybody wants to know over a certain age. Where do you go to find someone, to meet a mate?
Okay. Well, there's no one place for people our age to go and meet somebody. You've got to just get out, go to those activities you enjoy, because there are not singles clubs, and sometimes singles clubs are really difficult places to meet men, because the ratios are often 15-to-1 women to men at those clubs.
I know. And one thing that I know sparked quite a lively debate in your columns was who pays. Now, in my generation, the man paid, but things are different.
Well, things certainly are different. And see, we men are broke from all the divorces we've been through, so the woman has to step up and help pay. But whoever initiates the first date, I think, should pay. I think the guy, if he's really a man, will reach into his wallet and at least offer to pay the tip. But couple starts dating, then they work it out, probably equitably, depending on their situation.
Yeah, and I think that's only fair. Yeah. And what do you think of the internet for dating? That is very popular.
Yeah, the internet is a great tool for meeting somebody, but when we say that, we have to say at the same time, there's a lot of dangers lurking on the internet, and you have to be very, very careful the people you meet. There's a lot of scammers going on, but for older adults, it opens up a whole new world. So it's important to keep it a part of your plan.
They used to have personal ads in the newspaper. I don't know that that's so popular anymore.
Well, but they still can work because they will bring you people who are located near you. But, of course, the newspapers are shrinking a bit, so it becomes more difficult, and the internet is definitely taking over.
Yeah. You talk about making a list, to make a list of what you're looking for.
Well, you do that so that you don't waste your time trying to pursue somebody that isn't right for you. And, you know, the top of your list, I think as we grow older, becomes maybe nice people and a lot less of the looks type thing.
Yeah, because, yes, when you're younger, looks can be so important.
Yeah.
And now, how do you feel about women asking a man, if they see somebody that they find is attractive, asking them out for coffee?
I think it's absolutely critical because the opportunities don't come along very often, and you have to strike while the iron's hot and go ahead and do it, and just be a little assertive. You don't have to be aggressive, just assertive.
What about a woman giving a man a card with her name and phone number on it?
Oh, absolutely. Why not? I mean, you know, how else will they get to reach them? But I would suggest an email address that doesn't have your name on it.
Oh.
Better than no home address, no phone number.
Right.
But yeah, a way to get a hold of you, but do it that way.
Yeah, right. Now, this new book you've written called How 50 Couples Found Love After 50, with your picture on it, with your life partner. I love the picture. How did you meet Greta?
I own a deli, and one day Greta came in and ordered a fresh carrot juice, and she went to sit down, and I was, quote, between relationships, walked around the counter and said, "Would you like to have dinner?" That was 11 years ago.
Now, what made you go over to? There must have been something about her. Was she approachable? Was
she was approachable because Greta has a very kind face and personality, and you can tell she's a nice person. And I needed nice at that time, and I still do, and she's still with me.
Oh, that's a wonderful story to end on. Well, Tom, thank you so much for being our
you're
guest.
Welcome, Judy. Appreciate it.
And I think we've given a lot of you some ideas for meeting that someone special.